Hey guys, in this video I'll be covering all the basic movement related tech and info currently out there and how to implement it in your games. This guide is mainly aimed at newer players. Practicing good movement habits early is extremely important to mastering movement in Deadlock. Mastering movement is key to navigating the large map efficiently and gaining an edge in combat. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. The next video will cover advanced movement techniques, ensuring everyone is on the same page before diving into more advanced tech. Credit to Composter and DimeQ for writing the Deadlock movement document in the Discord. It has been really helpful for making this guide and finding more obscure tech. I prefer ESDF over WASD for movement because it provides easier access to more keys on the left side of your hand. I find this helpful in Deadlock because this game requires more key inputs than other MOBAs or shooters. I personally find it difficult to comfortably reach the 1 through 4 keys using WASD, so I have less keys to work with. I suggest binding your dash key to right click or another mouse button. In my opinion, having dash and shift hinders your movement. I also recommend experimenting with keybinds early on to avoid the challenge of unlearning muscle memory later on if you find a better setup. In Deadlock, there are 2 movement speeds, walking or move speed and sprinting. Sprinting only occurs out of combat and activates automatically after 1 second while shooting, for 5 seconds while taking damage. Early in the game, most heroes have around 1 sprint speed bonus, meaning their movement is similar in and out of combat. Heroes like Bebop and Lady Guys have higher than usual sprint speed boosts, giving them better early mobility. Items from the shop can enhance both movement and sprint speed. Items with the plus move speed stat increase walking speed, while Metal Skin is currently the only item that reduces it when activated. Some heroes like Grey Talon, Seven, Sinclair, and Viper have move speed that scales with Spirit, with each scaling at a unique rate. Certain items also boost sprint speed. Wraith is the only hero whose sprint speed scales with Spirit power. The Fleetfoot item allows you to maintain full walk speed while firing your gun. Ivy is currently the only hero that has this effect passively. When characters are sprinting, if they have been damaged by an enemy, they will move at their base speed, and if they are shooting, they will move around 70% slower. The movement buff provides a plus 3 meter per second sprint speed boost for 160 seconds. In Deadlock, some actions don't require stamina and can be used freely. These are crouching, which can be used for cover and crouch spamming during fights, mantling or climbing onto ledges, sliding down slopes by holding crouch, which is useful for extending movement combos, and getting on the zipline from the ground. Most heroes start with 3 stamina bars. Ivy, Great Talon, and Viper have 4, while Holiday, McGinnis, and Vindicta have 2. Stamina is mainly used for movement abilities like dashing, which is usable on the ground or in the air, the double jump, the downward dash. These all cost 1 stamina bar. Newer players often waste stamina by spamming dash when in danger. This inefficient use of stamina depletes their stamina, leaving themselves vulnerable. Mastering efficient stamina use in movement combos like the dash slide and the dash jump is key to improving mobility and survivability. Gliding is a core part of movement in Deadlock, helping you gain momentum on slopes and preserving momentum you've already built. It's a fundamental technique for more advanced movement. Sliding can only be performed on solid ground, and while sliding you'll notice a blue smoke being emitted. This smoke is useful for tracking fleeing enemies. You can slide infinitely on flat surfaces if your movement speed is at least 10 meters per second. Sliding also grants infinite ammo, which is particularly valuable for heroes with small clip sizes and fast fire rates. To maximize this advantage, try to slide frequently, especially when your movement speed is boosted. To slide, simply press the crouch key on a downward slope, or press crouch after a dash. This is known as a dash slide. Dash sliding is useful in various situations, especially during the laning phase to dodge enemy attacks or reach cover quickly. It also helps you escape bad situations and enhances overall efficiency while traversing the map. The dash jump is a more advanced move that costs 2 stamina bars and grants significantly more momentum, allowing you to cover much more ground than a simple dash slide. To perform a dash jump, you need to press the jump button just as the stamina bar lights up blue after a dash. This gives you a clean, continuous motion that doesn't require you to wait for a dash cooldown, making it a faster option to get in and out of a fight. Correct timing is crucial. If you mistime the dash jump, you won't be able to perform it. Be careful as this move quickly depletes your stamina. You can extend the dash jump combo in several ways, like the dash jump jump, the dash jump dash, dash jump down dash, and the dash jump slide. These options allow you to maintain momentum and make faster rotations. For example, the dash jump slide helps cover even more distance by allowing you to maintain momentum by sliding. Alternatively, a dash jump jump can provide extra height to get onto ledges and bridges. These combos can be expensive in stamina, but they offer a lot of freedom in combat situations, especially when you need to quickly change your direction or break line of sight. Dashing can be used to change direction mid-air, which can be crucial when escaping a flight or reposition quickly. The dash jump slide is another core movement technique that involves jumping out of a slide to maintain your momentum in the air. When done correctly, it allows you to extend the distance covered by your dash jump. You can even perform a second slide when you land, continuing your movement. The key to maintaining your momentum while sliding is timing your jump right as the slide's momentum starts to wear off, letting you carry the momentum while airborne. Overall, dash jump slide is an efficient way to cover more ground using 2 stamina bars and can be especially useful when you need to move quickly across the map or maintain your speed while navigating tricky terrain. You can cancel a dash by sliding before the dash animation finishes. This is useful for getting a sneaky melee in with a low risk of getting parried, or to last hit troopers during the laning phase, enabling you to melee the troopers safely without being locked into the dash animation. You cannot shoot, melee, or perform other actions while dashing, so canceling the dash early can be useful. The wall jump can be done by moving towards a wall while in the air, and just before hitting it, press the opposite directional key to jump off the wall. You can also wall jump in place by tucking against a wall, jumping then moving backwards while jumping again. The great thing about wall jump is that it acts like a third jump, allowing you to scale walls efficiently without using stamina. You can combine wall jumps with other moves like jumps or dashes to gain height or distance. This makes it especially useful for navigating complex environments. One of the better moves with the wall jump is escaping fights. You can run towards a wall jump, then jump to gain access to higher elevations to quickly escape to a safer location. You can also combo the wall jump with a jump into a heavy melee to climb onto higher elevations easier. The ziplines in Deadlock have 2 important details that many newer players overlook. Getting on a zipline resets your air dash and double jump, similar to touching the ground. This allows you to easily reach high spots like rooftops as long as you have stamina. I also sometimes see people jump off the zipline when they want to exit it. This is not good because it causes you to lose momentum. Instead, press crouch to exit the zipline. This lets you retain your momentum. This is useful for maximizing dash speed and changing your direction off the zip. This is called a zipline momentum conservation, or ZMC for short. When you exit a zipline, it gives you 2 seconds without air drag, followed by 5% increased air drag afterwards. Characters like Lash, Yamato, and Pocket can exploit this by activating abilities with cast times while still maintaining their momentum, enhancing their offensive potential. While using Majestic Leap, you can perform an air jump during your descent to conserve momentum and extend your travel distance. This is called a Majestic Leap cancel, and with it you can cover more ground than a standard Majestic Leap, making it an effective tool for both escaping enemies and pursuing targets. Since the pull of Rescue Beam starts fast and decelerates, you can maximize momentum by cancelling the beam right as the target begins to move. This is called a Rescue Beam slingshot. To correctly perform it, keep note that the puller should be as far away as possible from the target. The puller should cancel the beam immediately once the target starts moving, and the puller should ideally have height advantage to enhance the target's trajectory. Warpstone requires a clear line of sight to function, meaning you can't teleport through objects or walls. Warping too close to corners or obstacles can get you stuck, so positioning is key. After using Warpstone, you emerge in the air and can immediately air dash. This is called warp dashing, and it can be an effective tool for sudden escapes or confusing movement. If you dash before activating Warp Stone, you can still perform a dash jump right after the warp, maintaining your speed. This move, called the Warp Dash Jump, is useful for disengagement and quick repositioning. An interesting technique known as the Warp Boomerang occurs when you dash jump, activate Warp Stone, then dash in the opposite direction post-warp. This creates tricky motion that can throw off opponents and make you more slippery. Slowing Hex is a spirit item that launches a fast-moving projectile upon activation. When the projectile hits its target, the enemy suffers a 20% movement slow and a 30% reduction in their dash distance. For 3 seconds, the target's movement abilities and movement-related items are silenced, limiting their mobility options. The specific abilities and items affected by this silence are shown here. Alright, that's the end of my beginner's guide to basic movement tech. I hope this improves your movement game when playing Deadlock. There will be another video explaining the more advanced movement tech. Now I'm sure I missed some of the more obscure basic movement tech out there. If you want to see all the movement tech,